What's good? God is good. I'm your host, Jay Did It. Welcome to Thursday Therapies, a podcast for all creatives, writers, rappers, poets, artists, activists, Sacramento community therapy session. Today, I have Hayla V, the hottest new artist coming out of Sac. Hayla is 23 years old, rap and R&B artist, born and raised in Sacramento, California. She began making music when she was young, but has recently been making waves in both Sacramento and Riverside, California. She recently graduated UC Riverside as a first-generation college student and sociology major. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Without letting anything slow her down, in April 2020, Hayla V dropped her first single, Mood Swings, that hit us all in the feels and helped her fans connect with her. Soon after, she dropped her second single, Poppin, and her EP, The Red Notebook Chronicles, illuminating that Hayla V is not only able to connect and to an audience with her authenticity, but also embody confidence and hype up a room full of people. Her versatility, grit, and stage presence proved that she is not just talented, but truly gifted. Hayla V plans to continue making music that her fans can be their authentic selves with. How are you doing today? Welcome to Thursday Therapies.
Thanks for having me. I'm feeling good, happy to be here, and I'm just excited to start.
Yes. How's your week going?
It's going well. It's long.
Yeah, it just started.
Yeah, literally.
Started.
Just straight after work came here, so
Right,
your girl's
right.
a little tired, but we thugging, we vibing,
Right.
we moving.
That's what we got to do. What we got to do. So, Thursday Therapies is a discussion on mental health and bringing awareness to mental health. And I just want to ask you some questions, get your outlook on what you think mental health is and tell us a little about your journey.
Well, let's get started because I definitely think it's an important topic to talk about.
Awesome. So what does mental health mean to you?
I think mental health means to me, I would say, self-prioritization.
Right.
Mental health is a priority, and we don't kind of see it that way. And when you're not like self-helping, what's the word? I'll just say self-helping. It turns into self-rescue.
Right.
So
right.
mental health is really just like putting yourself first, prioritizing your needs, taking every moment, one moment at a time, and just continuing to push and figuring out what you need for yourself and then doing those things for yourself.
Facts. So when did you become aware of mental health and how old were you? You're very young, very, very young. But I mean, people deal with mental health at a young age and it goes on into adulthood. When was that for you?
I would say mental health became a big thing for me right about when I started my artist journey in 2020.
Okay.
The pandemic had hit.
Man,
that pandemic.
If you didn't have any issues with your mental health, then you do now.
It tore up a couple of us, right?
Yes.
So, I was looking for different creative outlets to kind of like figure out what was going on with me.
Right.
And also, for me, I was a COVID kid, right? So I graduated 2020. So I was newly going into adulthood as well. So kind of just like figuring myself out, who I want to be, what I have going on. And
that could be challenging and scary in itself too.
It was.
Yeah.
Because while you're trying to figure out where you are in the world itself is trying to figure out where it's supposed to be.
Right.
So it was definitely like, it was a scary thing for me. But that's when I think mental health kind of came into tuition for me. It was like, okay, this is something that is important and I need to understand, because there were things that were wrong with me and I can acknowledge like, okay, something's wrong, but I can't acknowledge what it is or what I need to do. Yeah. So that's when music became sort of that outlet that kind of started me to be able to write these things on paper and get them out.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. So how did your family handle mental health issues in your home?
I would say not in a negative context, but I do come from a family that falls victim of generational curses and of undiagnosed mental illness sometimes.
Yeah.
And I would say mental health wasn't talked about as much in my household, not because it wasn't important, just because it wasn't acknowledged as
Right.
much.
Right.
And a lot of things in my household had gotten normalized as far as mental health goes, which is one
Right.
of the reasons I became a sociology major myself, so I could figure out, okay, what's wrong, what's going on, what are the stigmas that's happening in my community, because it's not just an individualistic problem.
Right.
And I grew up to be able to come back home and help my family with these issues. But for me, it was something I definitely had to learn as an adult.
Right. That's amazing, because that was the same thing for me. It's just like when I started to go to school, I had to figure out like there's a lot of dysfunction in my family, and I needed to figure out what it was. And I didn't want to continue to feel that way, you know. I'm
Yeah.
just like, something's going on. I got to figure out and get behind it and be able to, you know, outlive it, you know, and just make sure I take care of myself and take care of I had a daughter at the time, and take care of her. And I was going to school, and I'm just like, you know, it was tough then. And I can only
Definitely.
imagine for you, like you said, the whole world shut down, and you're sitting here as an adult trying to get out there and be, you know,
Yeah.
blossom and go out there and be in the world. But the whole world shut down, and here you are trying to figure out that, that's amazing and commendable for you to be able to do that, though, you know, and to
Thank
be able
you.
to go to school and learn about what's going on with you, and take focus on your mental health and do something about it, because a lot of people don't, and they get stuck in that stigma to where, oh, we don't have those issues, or, you know, we don't trust anybody to help us with those issues, or you know, it's just not discussed.
Yeah.
So then people are self-medicating, and a lot of people are going undiagnosed, and then a lot of trauma happens in those you know, moments. So that's awesome that you were able to break free from that.
Yeah, thank you. It was definitely a tricky journey,
Right.
but I don't regret anything. I'm very happy with where I am today. And before we even keep going, shout out to all the COVID kids.
Yes.
Class of 20, they did us in.
Yes.
No prom, no
Right.
graduation, none of that. Especially if you went to college and graduated, because it wasn't easy.
Right.
But we did the best of what we could. So if you are a class of 20, shout out to you,
Yeah.
because it was hard.
Yeah, you're awesome. No, seriously, like this is commendable to even see you strive through all of that, and
Thank
to
you.
see how good you're doing now. It's amazing. That's dope.
It's appreciated to be seen and acknowledged. It's really appreciated.
Absolutely. And you're paving the way for a lot of other younger people, so it's amazing. So how do you protect your peace and mental health as an emerging artist in a demanding industry?
You want to know something? That's actually something that I still battle with, like, every day as an artist. I think that, especially today in a new age of social media,
Right.
we get put automatically in comparison. When you're an artist,
Yeah.
we get put automatically, like, on the front lines of, like, when you're an influencer, everyone, oh, they know you just because
Right.
they seen your content and all that stuff like that. So prioritizing my mental health is, like, sometimes it's a little hard. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question just real quick?
How do you protect your
Protect it,
peace and
yeah.
mental health as an emerging artist in a demanding industry?
Yes. So I would say one way of protecting it is practicing the art of non-attachment
Yes.
and not being so attached to how people think of what people think of me,
Right.
and kind of just being okay with yourself. Like, you have to be very accepting of yourself, especially being a young woman in the industry. Everybody has
Absolutely.
opinions about what you
Yes.
need to be doing,
Yes.
how you need to rap, how you need to look, what you need to do. Everybody has opinions.
Right.
So you kind of have to build that strong sense of self, like, okay, what am I doing this for?
Right.
Who am I doing this for?
You got to stay authentic
Why am
to
I
yourself.
doing this? And once you kind of figure that out, the connotations, how other people feel of you or what they think of you, kind of don't matter as much,
Right.
because you're realizing what you're doing. Also, sometimes turn that phone off.
Yes.
Turn that phone off. It's okay.
Yes. Stop doom scrolling.
Literally. Or, like, the notifications, I don't turn them off anymore, because now, like, I don't want to miss, like, business opportunities.
Right.
But I'll definitely be like, you know what? I'm going to leave this alone
Right.
for a little bit. And
Yeah.
then another thing is, like, your page. I just seen La Russell and T talk about this, but she was like, your page is like your house.
Right.
And, like, everyone on social media can just, like, come into your house, but, like, the negative comments, the hate comments, all that
Right.
stuff, delete that stuff. That stuff ain't staying on my page.
Right.
I'll tell you that right now.
Right. Everybody's always going to have an opinion, but it's just like, that's what it is. It's their opinion. It's their opinion. So that is like, I understand what you're saying. It's an everyday battle, because it's just like you see so much, and then you feel this way and you feel that way. And if you have anxiety and if you have depression, then your mind is constantly in a battle. So it's just like, you have to put limits to that. You definitely have to turn that phone off. You have to definitely, put boundaries on your life. And like you said, like I like that comment, how your page is your house. Yeah. It's just like, you're not gonna let that shit in your house. You're not gonna take off your shoes, all that shit.
Or keep your ass outside.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. That's dope. Yeah. Yes, protect your peace at all costs. Yes. At all costs. And remember who you are authentically. Definitely. Because everybody's always gonna have an opinion, no matter what. No matter what, good or bad, somebody is always going to, feel or think what they think about you and what your life should be like. But you're the only one who's in control of your life.
I totally agree. I be saying, like, people are going to talk about you regardless. Right. You might as well do what you want. Right. So I totally agree. But those are ways that I protect my peace, basically.
Dope. That's dope. That's dope. You're very smart. So have you ever felt pressure to create while mentally or emotionally depleted, and how do you handle that?
Yes.
Yes, all the time.
I think anyone who's like a content creator kind of feels that. Right. Especially like once my page started getting attention, you don't want to lose that. You kind of get used to the high of, okay, I'm getting likes, I'm getting views. What's next?
Right. It's the numbers game, right?
Yeah, and then you're comparing yourself to people who have like heck of numbers, and you comparing your step 2 to somebody's 200. Right. And it's like, oh, okay, what do I do? Right. And I kind of just had to be okay with like the journey. Right. Another thing I tell myself a lot, it's actually what this tattoo right here means. You see how it's like it's a plant, but the shadow's big.
I do see it.
So you gotta trust the process.
Trust
right?
it at all costs.
If you are so focused on the destination, you're not gonna enjoy the journey. Right. So when I'm making content,
I love that.
I'm trying not to rush. Like, oh, I'm not trying to get this out so I can already get all these likes. Like, no, I'm making the content because I enjoy making the content. Yeah. I'm letting it out because people are resonating with my content and they're enjoying it, and I am enjoying them enjoying it. So kind of just being okay with like your moment, your time, all of that stuff is gonna come when it's supposed to come. And me dropping this and rushing it to come out, that don't mean gatekeep your content, y'all. That's not what I'm saying. There are people who will hoard their stuff. No, but
I got some stuff hoarded.
Literally, but me rushing to put it out is not going to make my destination come quicker. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just like taking my time with it, a good amount of time. Don't hoard your stuff, y'all. Post your content. But taking my time with it basically and enjoying it. I'll say.
That's good advice. Just enjoy it. Because if it's becoming too much of a job, then it's pointless. We want to be able to enjoy what we do. Enjoy the day, enjoy, everything that we're creating, because we're creating for, for people to be inspired at what we do. And we don't want to sit here and look like we're like dying behind the screen, because we want to have fun. We're having fun. But some days it's a battle, emotionally it's a battle. It is a battle.
Clock it. It do be a battle.
Yes. So what role has music played in your healing or self-discovery journey?
I love that question. Music saved my life. In all honesty, 2020 was a really rough year for me. And if I didn't have music, I don't think I would be the person that I am today. Like I think each one of my projects in its own ways have affected me. Like if you look at my first project, the Red Notebook Chronicles, a lot of those songs are very emotionally involved with me. Yes. And they also have a lot to do with mental health. Yes. I have a song called Mood Swings. Yes. I have a song called PTSD. I have a song called Closure. I have another song called Do It for the Family, which is about being a first-generation college student and leaving my family and having to battle missing them, but also knowing that I have a bigger purpose in life that I'm going to come back and show them. Dope. So music is my way of writing how I'm feeling on the page. And then for FTIG, I'll say that was when I was writing all those, I was in college, but it still wasn't so much of a good time for me. So all of those songs are affirmations, me talking about like, oh yeah, I'm that nigga when I walk through, you know, like I'm talking about I'm the hottest, I'm the coolest person in the room. They're fun songs that kind of like pick me up and make me feel good about myself, because that was a point in time where I wasn't really feeling those things. Absolutely. So all of my songs have to do with how I'm feeling in the moment, or just with the times that I'm resonating. But that's my way of putting how I feel out onto the page, and hopefully somebody hearing that and be like, you know what? I kind of fuck with it.
I fuck with it. I'm inspired by all of it.
Yeah.
I do. I love that shit. And I'm like, and it's just come out of like you so little walking out, and then that song comes on. I'm like, that should go. That should go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it is. It's inspiring because you got to tell yourself that. You got to tell yourself that, because I think we were at a workshop and you said something like, when you walk on stage, you got to own the stage. Like,
for sure,
you got to own the stage. That is your stage, you know, and own it at all costs. And that's what came to my mind when you said that. It's just like, I'm that nigga when I walk through, because you have to be.
Literally.
You really have to be, especially in this industry. Like you said, as a female artist, it's tough, you know, so you got to pump that into you. You know, that affirmation is a daily affirmation. Like, you have to be that, you know, and so that's dope. That's dope. Your music is amazing. Your music is amazing. Yes.
Thank you. If you ever feeling low, wake up in the morning, play FTIG,
Yes.
that album.
Yes.
Look in the mirror, sing it back to you. You gonna feel like that nigga when you walk through. I promise.
Every time. Every time.
Every time.
Every time. So let's talk about your creative journey and influences.
Yes.
What inspired you to step into the music, especially rap and R&B? Similar to the question we just talked about.
Yeah. I love this question as well, because you want to know something so funny. I didn't even want to do this.
Really?
No, I didn't think I could.
Oh, wow.
I have an amazing group of friends, and when I had first started music, that's the reason why my first project's called the Red Notebook Chronicles, because I had these notebooks and I would just write. I have like 4 thick ass notebooks. Now I got an iPad, I'm digital.
Right.
But I have 4 thick ass notebooks just full of songs, and I would come up to my friends and I'd be like, hey y'all, like, after writing in secret for a minute, I was like, hey yo, I write a little music, like, can you listen to it? And I was like, you ain't got to tell me I'm good. I didn't think I was good.
Wow.
And they told me, they were like, Hayla, like, girl, you kind of got some bars.
Yes.
But I didn't believe that.
Right.
I was like, you're telling me that because you're my homegirl? And I don't believe you. So I wasn't really messing with it. They believed in me until I believed in myself.
Right.
So for about like a year, maybe 2, but definitely for about a year, it was just like, Hayla, like, keep writing. If you ain't gonna drop it, keep writing. But you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. So after a minute, they finally was like, girl, just go to the studio. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the studio. Because push come to shove, you know, I ain't gotta drop it. Like, I could play it, you know, show my kids like, hey, your mama was tight back in the day. You know, like, I don't have to release it. But then I had recorded Mood Swings, and I heard it back, and I was like, hold on, I might be able to do this. So then after that, I started to believe in myself. I started to perform, and as time grew, I grew that confidence as an artist. But before I had it, my homegirls were the ones who did that for me.
That's dope.
So that's why it's really important to have like a team of people who believe in you,
right, and
who can see in you what you can't see in yourself. Because if it wasn't for them, Hayla V wouldn't be a thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love them.
No,
love
that's
y'all.
Amazing. Yes. Keep writing. Keep showing up. You know, your shit is tight. You're tight. Everything is good, and it's just like, that is definitely a calling that I see for you. It's amazing. You know, you're so good. You're
Thank
so
you.
good. So, can you describe a moment when you realized music was more than a passion, that it was a part of your purpose?
Yes. I'll give 2 small moments. I think one of the moments where I kind of realized like I was put on this earth to create, not even just make music, but just like to create and spread my creativity in the world, was when I was in college and I would leave and come back to Sacramento. Because being a full-time college student, like, I would perform and work full-time as an artist, show, go to college, have to stop everything, come back. And for those weeks, 2-3 weeks that I was coming for break, I was seeing my impact on Sacramento.
Oh, that's dope.
And I was seeing how I was affecting people in real time. And, like, the messages that I was getting, like, hey, girl, like, you're inspiring me. How do I start? Or, Hayla, like, you really gonna be something in Sacramento. Or, Hayla, you're doing this. Hayla, you're doing that. And I'm seeing my influence on my community in real time. And I was like, God doesn't do these things by mistake.
Right.
You know? So that's when I started to feel like, okay, I could see this is my job in the world, is to leave an impact.
Right.
Everything I do is leaving an impact, whether that be music. My major is sociology. I'm a mentor to children and adults. That's literally one of my other jobs, is to leave an impact.
Right.
And with my music is how I can do that.
Yes.
I'll say another thing that helped me see that purpose is, as I was getting all this love and seeing my impact on people in real time, I was realizing how much I loved music. Because I had forgotten how much I loved it, because I left it alone.
Right.
And my school didn't have arts. Like my middle school, my high school, they didn't have that. They had sports. So I stopped playing. I stopped writing for a long time. And I realized, like, I had to thank my friends, because I was like, if y'all wouldn't have believed in me, I wouldn't have realized how much I loved music. Like, this is something that I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
So it just took,
it
just took a moment for me to realize, like, hey, yo, like, this is definitely what I'm here and supposed to be doing. But I'll say coming to Sacramento and being here and actively being a part of the artist community and continuing to build every single day that I'm out here is showing me this is something that I'm supposed to be doing.
Absolutely, 100%. I believe it. You are making a huge impact.
Thank you.
You are making a huge impact. That's dope. So who are your biggest musical or life influences, and how do they show up in your sound?
I'll say biggest musical or life influences. Musical, for sure. I say in every interview, Lil Wayne, Lauryn Hill.
Woo!
For sure.
Yes.
Lil Wayne, if you listen to my raps, you're going to hear that punchline. You're going to hear that bar for bar. Wayne, easily. Also, I say the N-word a lot, you know. Wayne be doing that every now and then. But, no, it's really the lyricism. That last part was a joke. But, yeah, the bar for bar, the wittiness, I love that about Wayne. And
yes.
I think it's so iconic. So I really try to do that.
I do hear it. I do, yeah.
I'm glad. And then for Lauryn Hill, with her being an R&B and an MC, R&B artist and an MC.
Right.
And just like her transparency in the music.
Absolutely.
She talks about life experiences, and you can hear that stuff. Like X Factor by Lauryn Hill is probably one of my favorite songs on earth.
Yes.
And every time I hear that song, I could feel myself through the music.
Yes.
And that's kind of like when I'm writing words to the page and I want people to hear what I got going on.
You want them to feel it.
I want them to feel it.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
feel that.
it's okay, girl. Like,
I feel it.
We been through it.
I do feel it. Every time I see you on stage, I said, there she go again. Yep. No, I feel it. No, that's dope. That's exactly, what an artist really wants, and to be able to put that impact and inspire so many people. That's dope. And those two artists, man, yes, dope. So, what about in life?
In life
influences.
I'll say a big life influence is my grandmother.
Nice.
I'm a granny baby. This is actually her birthday right here on my arm. She has helped raise me since I was a youngin'. So she's someone I look up to and love a lot. Love you, G-Dog.
Love that.
As far as like someone I would say in the industry that I look up to as like a person is definitely La Russell.
Nice.
As an independent artist, I think he's super dope.
What he's got going on right now, and to see all the kids and just how he interacts with the audience, and it's dope. It's just so dope. I was there at the concert where he pulled you up on stage. I was right behind you. I was like, hell yeah. Man. That's so dope. You tore up the stage.
I was hyped.
Yes.
That was my third time seeing him. But like I would say before going on stage with him, I just loved him. His influence as a person.
Yes.
I would see how he is basically mentoring all of the independent artists and putting us on game.
Yes.
And he's talking and he's telling us the truth. He don't have to do this.
Right.
There are people who get to the top and pull the ladder up.
Right.
They don't help us out. They gatekeep all that information. He's not doing that. So I always
his
thought
vision is dope.
He was super dope. And then like his backyard videos, like I used to watch them and I'd be like, this is hella clean. Right. And then I seen him in person and I was like, oh, his shows is different, like the crowd interaction, how he talks to the crowd, how he has fun.
Yes.
And he has his homies up there with him.
Yes.
And that's like, he's a regular dude.
Right.
You feel me? So then after performing on stage with him, I started to go to a couple more shows. And I was able to like have small conversations with him every now and then. You'd be like, hey, I'm Hayla.
Yes.
Meet Tayetta, meet everybody else. And I hope I said her name right. Is it Tayetta or Tietta? Anyways, if I said it wrong, I do apologize. But meet them, and he is really genuine.
Right.
And he's up
Dope.
there now.
Dope.
And I think when I become an artist, when I become a big artist, that's something that I want to remain and keep,
Right.
which is to be myself. Like, don't change up.
Nope.
Don't be on no weird stuff. Keep the people who got me where I am with me. And I
Right.
think he's super dope. So as a person, especially as a person in the industry, I really look up to his character.
Absolutely, 100%. He's dope. He is dope, and just the whole feel, like you said, how you want somebody to just feel your shit. He allows for that. Like, you could feel it and then be included in it. That's
Definitely.
dope. That's dope. And I can see you throwing down a backyard boogie too.
One day, hopefully.
Absolutely. So, with your vision, legacy, and impact, what message do you want people to take away from your music?
I'm gonna have a couple messages. The first thing is genuity. Be yourself
Right.
at all times.
Yes.
Nobody's going to be a better you than you. Everyone's going to have opinions on who you should be, what you should be, and why you should be it. Be yourself.
Absolutely.
You that nigga when you walk through.
Facts.
Uplift yourself. It's okay to be kind. If no one is going to be your biggest hype man, it should be you.
Right.
Like, you should think you're the coldest because no one else is going to. So I don't see why not me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as some of my like more life talking and emotional songs, live through the emotions, feel them. They're okay. They're normal. And while you do that, you know, live life and have fun a little bit. So listen to this song. Hopefully you resonate with it.
Right.
And if you do, play it a couple times. Let's ride the wave together. And until then, you know, just vibe with your girl.
Vibe. Yes, you are a whole vibe, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So how do you hope to inspire other young artists, especially those dealing with anxiety, trauma, or self-doubt?
I hope to inspire young artists by, once again, just inspiring young ladies to be themselves. That's the biggest thing. I try to stay transparent in myself, especially being a female artist.
Right.
You know, a lot of female artists nowadays are selling a lot of sex,
right,
which is not a problem. Cause I like me a good Meg, a good sexy red. I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit of ratchet ain't,
you know,
a little bit of ratchet is all right.
But I know for me personally, that's just not me.
Right.
Mama raised a tomboy.
Right.
And you know, I grew into my girliness a little bit, you know. But I want to put on for those who do have that tomboy chic style. Right. You know, it's okay to be yourself. And to the girls who aren't like that and are, you know, like I said, a little ratchet, you can turn up to my stuff too. Like, I feel 100%. Like I make music for everybody. So it's just be okay with being yourself and have fun while doing it. And that's the biggest thing that I hope that they could take from it. And also being a role model, obviously. Going to college and being an artist, you know, college is a possibility for everybody. It's not something that everybody needs to do.
Right.
It's not for everybody. That's okay.
Right.
But, you know, just be yourself, have fun, figure out your path, and have fun while doing it. That's the biggest thing.
Dope. That's dope. That's good. That's good advice. So how do you hope to, we already talked about that one. What does success look like to you mentally, emotionally, and artistically?
Success to me looks like, that's a good question. Because it depends on what I'm looking at. But I'll say success to me looks like not having to worry and to look over my shoulder.
Right.
About if I'll be okay. What's going to happen next. As far as financial goes, like bills paid, living a little bit, you know. Right. I don't need to be balling. I'm not opposed. But I don't need to be balling. But definitely stable.
Definitely financially stable.
Stable
is good.
A big thing. Happy. Genuinely happy. Not just social media happy where you posting and you flexing.
Right.
And I would say success is having both of those things and doing what I want to do. So as an artist, do I need to be the biggest thing in the world? No. If I get there, I would love that. I'm not going to lie. But I enjoy making music because I enjoy making music. Right. I enjoy reaching the people that I reach. Right now, I'm worried about reaching Sacramento.
Dope.
I want to be a household name in my city. I want to lift my city up right now. So that's what success in this moment looks like for me. But the bigger that I get, the further the finish line is. I'm not going to stop.
Right.
So that's just where success is for now, but I'm going to keep going after that.
Dope. That's dope. Yes, I love that. You're so encouraging. I love that. Yes.
Thank you.
Keep going. Keep going. So, Thursday Therapies energy. If your music was a therapy session, what topic would you be unpacking?
Affirmation.
Affirmation.
Affirmations for sure.
Yes.
I feel like I've touched on it a lot, but turn up, y'all.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah, affirmations and life experience. I'll say life experience and mental health. So,
Absolutely.
like I said, FTIG is just affirmations. I could touch up on that all the time. But my first project, the Red Notebook Chronicles, I touched on a lot of mental health. My first song, Mood Swings, was literally me talking about experiencing emotions, not knowing why I have these emotions or what they are, but just acknowledging, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to just ride it.
Right.
And I'm having mood swings.
Dope.
I have songs that talk about closure and not wanting to go back to that person and talking to that person, not even in a relationship sense, but just to anyone who hurt you.
Yes.
But wanting to have that closure. So instead of having that conversation with you, I'm going to put it on this page and let that be it. Mm-hmm. I have songs called PTSD where it's like, it's triggering to have conversations with you. So I'm just going to write that out. Mm-hmm. Like I said, being Do It For The Family, it literally talks about me being a first-generation college student. Leaving home was hard. As we had previously talked before the cameras came on, I'm a first-generation college student, and also my whole life was on one street.
Wow.
My middle school, my high school, and my elementary was on one street. So leaving and going to a completely different city, hours away, was hard.
Wow.
So I wrote about that experience and talking about missing my family and doing something for the betterment of my family and my community. All of those things are life experiences that I write out onto a piece of paper. And it was like, okay, this is how I feel. I'm going to put it out there. And if you resonate, let's talk about it. Let's chop it up. So I'll say those are definitely the topics.
Yes, you unpacked a lot, and that's dope. And we need to hear that. People need to hear that because we're going through shit. Other people are going through stuff, and they need to hear that to encourage them and inspire them, to get out of that funk. It's okay. You can go through shit, but just continue to get back up. Continue to get back up. Definitely.
Most definitely.
So what advice would you give your younger self, especially during moments when you wanted to give up?
I love this question as well. For the simple fact of younger me had no idea what older me was gonna be. So I would look at my younger self and I'd be like, girl, you don't even know. You don't even know the beast you about to become. Like, keep pushing, keep waiting. It's on the way. Yes. And when you on the way, you don't see that. Right. Because you don't see the destination. You just like, damn, I'm stuck in a funk.
Right.
But girl, just let it stink right now. You gonna be good. I promise you. It took me so long to get to where I am. And if younger me could see who I am now, I would probably cry tears of happiness. Younger me is so proud of adult me, but she had to get there.
Right.
So just ride that wave. Don't drown. Ride that wave, girl. But yeah.
That's dope. You gonna be all right. We gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So when the mic is off and the stage is quiet, how does Hayla V take care of Hayla V, self-care wise?
Hayla V still working on that. That's the thing. That I'll say that's a journey that I continue to go on as an adult. But prayer is a big one. Mm-hmm. Talking to my Lord and Savior. We be having them good chats. I'm not going to lie. Getting close in my spirituality definitely helped me. Friends and family. Like, I can't express it enough. I have the best friends in the world. That's my nice. Family is also super supportive. My parents support me. My granny support me. My siblings love me. So just talking with my community. And now I have a community of artists who love me as well, and I love them. So
and it's authentic. It's genuine. I mean, there's some people out there, you just got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut. And if your gut is going to be the one that's guiding you and then you ain't going to be funking with them, You're just going to go your own way. But no, this community's dope.
Super dope.
I've met so many great artists and it's just been real love. Real love.
And it's continuing to build, which is super dope as well.
Right.
But talking to my friends and families and my community, and also just like continuing to write.
Right.
But now that it's become a job, when I'm writing, I'm like, is this gonna be a hit song? Sometimes I gotta be like, girl, if it's dookie, it's okay. Like, just just write for the betterment of yourself. Have fun creating in general, and just being okay. And then reading. I do a lot of reading.
Yes.
I'm gonna recommend some books.
That's
if that's
good.
okay.
We shout them out.
The Art of Non-Attachment is a good one.
Okay.
The Color of Emotional Intelligence is another really good book. Dale Carnegie, How to Get People to Like You. I said that wrong, but you Google it, the right title will pop up. And one that I'm reading right now is The Artist's Way. I've been on week 7 for a couple weeks, I'm not gonna lie, but because it's like a 12-week journey, but it's super dope, and it's helping you find like your inner child and like your higher creativity. And as an artist, I recommend it for everybody, but reading books also is something that I really do on my spare time to like keep me grounded.
Yeah. I'm reading one right now. I don't know the artist, the author, but it's Healing Your Inner Child and through trauma. And you have to read, you have to, continue to feed your soul full of knowledge, uplifting knowledge, and stuff that keeps you going, because if you don't, then you're going to be out there falling for all types of nonsense. You definitely got to stay grounded. For sure.
I totally agree.
For sure. That's dope. So let's switch gears then. Do you have any events coming up? Do you want to share a song, a poem? You got some poems, or you want to do a song?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm not mad at that. Let me plug these events first, because I do got some shows coming up. Let me see. What is today? Today is the 23rd.
Correct.
June 26th is Thursday, so it'll come out on that Thursday.
On that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what time does this episode come
I
out?
usually put them out at 6, God willing.
6? Okay, period. Well, when this episode comes out, I'll be performing, y'all. So if you watch this real early, go to CD, go to Creation District, come see your girl. July 12th, Sac, we outside. I have a show there.
Broderick's,
yes. Endless Summer, July 13th, I'll be performing there. And then every third Friday, I have a show with CMB, Community Movement Builders, and we have something called Asale Nights, so pop out to that. And then also, still taking bookings, so tap in with your girl. Oh, July 19th as well. RFDC Friend Raiser event, so that's a fundraiser, so slide to all those events.
Dope.
And then check my page. Follow me at haylav.official. I have a lot of music. I have a lot of content coming out. If you look me up, Google me. I'm on Google. All my links will pop up. Just look up Hayla V, Hayla _V. So yeah. And then as far as some bars go, I got one for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
I love it. I'm down for it. For all of it.
This is probably one of my favorite to speak. So I'll do this one. It's called All That. It's what I did with La Russell. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where everybody at? Because I'm going to need an audience. Going to have to hear me preach when I rap. Matter of fact. Gon' let them know where I'm at. SAC, I'm gon' put it on the map. They left me in the dark. Now it's time for me to shine. I had to switch the gears. Now it's time for me to grind. Was looking for myself. It was hard for me to find. It's curtain for these niggas, but the blind will lead the blind. I'm too hot. I'm smoking. Put it in the music how I'm coping. Using God's gift, cause I'm chosen. These curses, I broke them. Believe these affirmations when I spoke them. And yes, I kept rapping, I was hoping. And I ain't gotta lie, I'ma tell it how it happened. Yes, I was in a crunch, but I'd rather be the captain. I told them kiss my ass, real and proper like a fraction. They say, Hayla acting up. I said, bitch, I wasn't acting. Couldn't leave me behind. Big stepper, like I'm in the D9. Told them research stars, they couldn't reach mine. Cat and they so feline. Always be yourself is what I teach mine. Do it for the family, what you mean why? I'm going up, no rocket. You put me on the stage, I'm a rocket. Make it out the hood, yeah, I got this. These bars, yeah, I locked it. Said they seen it all, baby, not this. Damn, I know they hate it when I'm talking. Damn.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, check out Hayla V. I'm telling you, she do got bars. She got bars. I'm telling you. She put Sac on the map, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, for sure, 100%. I love it. I love listening to you. I love it.
Thank you.
It's
and
so
thank
dope.
you so much for having me. Like, I really appreciate it. I had a great time up here.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what can you tell our listeners to check on their mental health? What can you what kind of advice can you give them? How could you encourage them to tell them, it's okay, check on your mental health?
Yes, I'll say some advice that I would give, especially in times now, because these are very emotionally taxing times. Take that time to yourself, for real. Keep yourself updated on what's going on, because it's important. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but it's okay to put that phone down for a second. Breathe. Do what you feel like you need to do in order to remain current with yourself. Take that time and ask yourself, hey, what do I need right now? And then after asking yourself that, and you answer that question, do those things, and don't be greedy with yourself. Because I be having that issue myself. Like, I'll be like, do I need to do that for myself? But when it comes to work, I'm automatically doing it.
Right.
When it comes to something I have to do, I feel like I have to do, I'm going to do that.
Right.
But when it comes to taking that time or spending that time or investing in myself, whether that be money, whether that be time, whether that be anything.
Sleeping in.
I'm sleeping in, you know what I'm saying? I'm questioning it. Like, should I do it?
Right. That's that battle. That's that depression and anxiety battle. Your depression saying stay in bed. Anxiety's like, nope, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got this to get to. You got this show to get to. You got to take care of this. You got to take care of that. It's that battle, that funk.
Most definitely. So definitely find that balance with yourself and figure that out. But remain current with yourself and figure all those things out, and you'll be straight. It'll take some time, but you'll be straight.
Dope. Well, like, subscribe, follow, comment, check it out. Check out Thursday Therapies. Check yourself. Check your mental health. We here for it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yes,
Much love.
Check yourself. Check your mental health.
Yes, sir.
Yes.